like topic wise when it comes to this live right here?
Yo, I have some questions. Some topics. Load
All
it
right,
up.
I'm saying
Oh,
throw it at us.
all right. If somebody thinks joining a gang in prison makes them safer, are they right or wrong?
Ooh, joining the gang make them safer
Yeah,
or
are
they
they
right
right
or
or they
wrong?
wrong?
Yo, I'm gonna say, yo, to be for real, I'm gonna say, like if it's a short time, if they doing a short period of time, like a real short period of time, and then they
Yeah,
come in and they under this little umbrella for a minute, I think they good. But if they're going for the long haul and then start going through all the issues of everybody that's in the game, and then you just got to keep stepping up and stepping up and stepping up and stepping up, I think they made a terrible mistake. You know what I'm saying? So I probably would say if it's going for the long haul, nah.
yeah, because they can get caught up in submissions, extra time. The gang life comes with the good and the bad. Yeah, you got a little clique, a little family, that's gonna have your back. But at the same time, if issues happen in that family, you gotta step up and take care of it too.
Yeah. And the thing about it is you're held accountable under not just the prison or the penitentiary or chain gang laws and what they go and abide by also the gang rules and the laws and what they abide by. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
And you got to subline all that with being a man and trying to make your mind up for yourself too at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And I think that's where it gets sticky at. Like really saying, yo, gang laws are my morals type of deal, man.
yeah.
Yeah,
All right, the next one.
definitely.
Is there ever a clean way out once they join?
Expound on that just a little bit more.
Is there ever a clean way out of the gang once they're in it?
Nah,
Never.
nah. Because you didn't come in that way. So you're
Yeah,
not
you're
going
right.
out that way.
Yeah, you can't just go to the head of the leader and say I want to retire. It don't work like that.
Yeah, yo, I'm gonna tell you a quick little story, man. Like I have a family member, a little cousin inside the Georgia Department of Corrections right now. He's doing 3 life sentences in 145 years just because he was tied up with a gang and he became a bounty hunter for them. You know what
Or
I'm saying?
yeah.
So all these people, like while we're working, I'm right near him. We staying in the same apartments and everything. I'm right near him.
Now
And
now
while
when
we're
you now
working,
when you say a bounty hunter, elaborate on that. What does that mean
a bounty hunter is somebody that looks for, you know what I'm saying?
for the
And
gang?
they're looking for people that violate, you know what I'm saying, and try to skip town, looking for people that try to tap up out of the game. And that's what I wanted to expound on because he was catching people that was leaving from up north, where we at right now, leaving the East Coast and going down south trying to hide out. He was finding them,
Yeah.
knocking them off, knocking them off, knocking them off. And I was like, damn, like he was doing it so smooth. I didn't know. Me and him worked at the same moving company. I'm thinking we doing like we
Yeah,
cool.
that's the best way to do it.
Yo,
So
it was so crazy, man, because the ultimate result of that, he had a band of members that's moving around with him, but he will always do the upping. And once it came to them getting trailed, they catching the bodies, finding the bodies, they all told on him.
yeah, that's usually how it goes. Once people
And,
get in that interrogation room and they start dishing out them numbers, people start folding.
and the sad part about it, they all, the ones that told, got lesser sentences, but it was still life without.
That's crazy. So it's better off you don't even join a gang in prison.
Yeah, I think it's a messed up thing, but other people have different angles that they look at it, like coming in and they saying that quote unquote they want to be a part of something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They want to be a part of something, or they want to get down with something, or feel appreciated around company because they didn't have that on the streets. I
Yo,
hear a
that's a
lot
good
of
way of
people
looking
say
at
that.
it. That's a good way of looking at it. It really is. Yo, don't they say there's only two ways to leave a gang? In the body bag or in prison?
And you still not leaving that gang in prison.
Yeah, you're not. You putting in more work in
They
prison.
yeah, they're gonna put a stronghold on you. Your work has just begun. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
for real talk. That's how I look at that, man.
Do gangs build you up or break you down over time?
Um, I don't know. I think you can more say that than me because I'm from the outside looking in and I see people's situations, but I can't personally give that information. I wouldn't know.
You know, I don't think that's a good question. To be honest with you, because you're gonna stand on your own 10 toes. If you're a man, you're gonna make your own decisions at the end of the day. But I mean, they do build you up. The only way they
And
break you down is if you get in some mess and some drama. If you do something you weren't supposed to, that's the only way.
now, what part do they build you up? What part does the gang build you up?
You got to give you discipline. You know, you got to be on that yard. You got a mandatory workout. You know, you basically can't do whatever you want to do. You can't if you were shitballing out here in the real world, you can't go in there doing that because you're representing the organization. You're not. It's not about yourself no more. When you join an organization, you're representing them as a unit. Where everything you do reflects back on the gang. And if you
Mm,
know if you messing up, they can't allow that.
I see. I can see that. That's kind of that'll keep you in line for the most part. But how about the radical ones that just like to start trouble all day, every day? What do they do with them?
Most of the time, you talking about in the gang.
Yeah.
Most of the time, they crashing out, and they always in the hole or something. You know what I'm saying? But they get respect.
Hmm.
You know, you talking about crashing out in a bad way.
I'm talking about crashing out every way possible. They just doing stuff. They just doing a lot of stuff. How do y'all try to get control of the live
You know,
wires? That ain't really trying to hear
if
that.
somebody steps out of line, they got they get DP'd. You got to go in the
Mhm,
cell. You gotta put your hands up, and the rest of the gang members they beat your body for a certain amount of time. That's in any gang,
mhm.
and that's getting off easy. You know what I'm saying? That's
That's
getting
getting
off
more
easy.
people.
Yeah.
Yo, I
Oh,
saw.
I seen
Go
somebody
ahead.
get DP'd for this right here. We were walking out to commissary, go get our net bags for commissary, right? We going down the compound. There was a guy that lives his life as a female. It's a male, but he likes other men. He got the whole dress up, everything. He walked by with his bag of commissary. The dude turned around and looked at the dude. Everybody around him thought he was checking him out. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm,
Just from him doing that, he got DP'd. He's sitting there saying, I was just looking at his commissary bag, but somebody went and told his big homie, yo, you dude out there acting wild, man. He checking out the punks. And you know, I call them punks. That's because that's what they're called. Everybody calls them that. You know, I
yeah,
don't care what anybody does. You know,
yeah, I can dig it. I
but
can dig it.
yeah, you get DP for almost anything. He got DP for looking at somebody, is what I'm trying to say.
Look, I saw a situation where Like, and I never really saw this. This was my first time seeing this, where I was in PA. I was in HOC, the House of Corrections,
Yo, you did
on
time in PA?
yeah, on State Road.
Yo, I
And
heard that that is the craziest. Where you did time in the jail or prison?
nah, it was like they after you go from CFCF from the roundhouse to CFCF, then they send you to State Road, and you're like in like a county. It seemed like you're in a county jail, but it's moving like a prison.
Yeah, my sister did time. My sister did time up there. Yo, she said you got to pay for everything. They make you pay for your visits. They make you pay for everything. And if you ain't got the money, it goes negative in your account. And if you get locked back up, you got a negative account. So if somebody puts money in your books,
They taking it.
yeah, they taking it. That's how it works up there.
Exactly. Yo, I saw like I guess they would call this a DP, but this Muslim was going around and he was wild and he was stealing from the Latin kings, right?
Oh,
And they
he
found
messed
out.
up.
Yeah, they found out. And they got it to the I guess the head dude over the Latin kings, and he came and made an announcement on the tier that we was at. And he was speaking in Spanish. He had a translator right beside him talking it out. And they saying, go get the imam, go get the Muslim imam, because one of your brothers stole and we're gonna have to handle this situation. You know what I'm saying? And they went, got the imam, they're listening. The Citra team is there right on the side of the imam. And they were like, where's this brother at? The brother's in a room listening to music.
You
He
don't even
he
know what's
come,
going
they
on.
get him like, they like, come on out, come on out. And first they call a couple of the Latin kings to the door and said, look in there, see if you recognize any of your belongings. He recognized all his stuff. So they talked for a minute. I walked away, right? And then
Yeah.
when I came back out, they had already said what they was going to do. So they brought the brother into the room, right? And the Muslims gave him lashes, beating him, giving him lashes, and some of them was standing out there looking, and they was looking mad, like they don't like seeing their brother getting hit.
The E man allowed that?
The imam allowed it. I'm
See that?
saying it's Muslims doing it to Muslims, not
Oh,
nobody
hold on,
else.
hold on. I thought you meant they let the um the Latin kings do it, discipline them.
No, the Muslims are giving him lashes.
Oh, okay.
They're giving him lashes in the cell. And this Muslim standing by the door, but they're looking mad and they're looking at the Latin kings. They looking back like they want to do something about this situation. But
Dang.
after the fact, and this is why they were mad, I did not know. After the fact, they let him out. He's sore and everything. And then the imam said, go ahead. And the Latin kings brought him to the back of the dorm. Now, it's a long way you got to run to get to that officer. And you can't see, like, our doors are set down. You go down steps to get into the cells. They had people with little pipes, sticks, locks inside socks, then, not with the belt, inside socks. And they all sitting back. And they told him to run down the dorm. And he got to check out once he get there, though. And he running, and they hitting him. The first thing that hit him, I guess it busts right here. It was like, pow! Now he running
Dang.
crazy, moving all around, and they just hitting him. Boom! Like everybody gets to get a hit. If you miss, you can swing twice, but you can't hit them twice.
You know
That's
why
what
they
it was.
doing that, right? You know why they doing that, right?
Why?
They trying to appease the Latin kings. They trying to show that they ain't have a part of this. And when you know what I'm saying, they don't want a war.
Yeah,
Latin kings, man, I'm telling you, we didn't really have that many Latin kings up here in Maryland, the East Side. I ain't really seen that many. What was up here? MS-13. Yeah, that's basically what's up here. But that's one you don't want to mess with them Spanish dudes. I'm telling you, because you know most you get into it with another gang or whatever, y'all might fight. Y'all might have to go in the cell in the shower and fight. Them MS-13 members, they ain't doing no fighting. They straight bringing out knives. And I'm not. I'm talking about they ain't gonna stab you in the shoulder. No, they gonna stab you in the face, in the chest. They don't give up. They don't care, man.
Yeah. Yes, 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 yes. That's one crew inside of the chain gang that goes crazy. When they have to go,
They go hard.
they'll try to stop the situation. They'll talk about it for a minute and keep saying, no, we don't want to blah, blah. How can we work this out? How can we do this? But as soon as you get them Migos to start going crazy, bro, when they go back in themselves, and it be the little shortest one, that be over.
Yeah, they don't care, man. They got them short. What's that? What they call it? Short man complex.
Bro, when they come out and they go in, they're not playing.
They're not.
They're not playing. It's
And
you're gonna
if you
have
got a
to.
whole group of them, if you got a whole group of them in a pod, and something goes down, they all going dumb hard. They
Yeah,
all
that's a
going
fact.
dumb hard.
That's a fact. That's a fact. I saw it time and time again. I remember when I first saw them bring out those good old machetes or whatever and like hacking in people and then trying
Yeah.
to pull it out, going like this to pull it out. I'm like, ooh, like,
That's why I try
yo,
to tell people, like, when I came home from prison, I try to explain to my family, my friends, I was like, yo, it is a nightmare in there. I done seen people get stabbed up. Like these horror movies you be watching, that's what it's like in there. And people, like, they hear me, but they don't, it's like they don't really see it. You know what I'm saying? They think I'm
yeah,
just talking. But when I'm talking, I'm going off of my memory. And, this stuff can really mess you up. Seeing
yeah,
that
that's a
every
fact.
day, man, I'm telling you, when I was in my cell and them doors pop open for chow in the morning for breakfast call, man, I had to be up. You have to be up because at any time I've seen so many people, they have a problem. Somebody, as soon as them doors open, they run out, run straight in there, run straight. Imagine you in your house and like
That's
five
wicked.
people come in there with knives,
Yeah,
to do you harm. That's what it's like for people in there, and there ain't no escaping it. You can't be like, hey, I'm going home. Hey, I'm gonna go move. You know what I'm saying? You right there. The only way you leave in that pod is if you go to the officer and tell them, I'm not a man no more. I fear for my life. Your reputation's gonna be damaged. You're gonna be a joke. That's the only
yeah,
way you leaving.
that's a fact. And some people go out that way. You know what I'm saying?
They
They
gotta be really desperate to go out that way. Like you gotta be really desperate. It's gotta be somebody. Most of the time, it be people bad on the drugs, and they really don't care what their reputation is. They don't care if people look at them a certain type of way because they done gave up their life a long time ago.
Yeah. Also, some people like when they get short. I know it gets sticky when you get short and you're up against an opposition where you know you got to do something. You know
You
you
know,
got
you
to
gotta do something.
perform. Yeah.
Yeah,
I have saw some real tough dudes too. Go into somebody's cell, get on that phone, and listen to their daughter say, "No, dad, come home."
yeah, I seen that too.
And they be like, nah, you like, yo, I'm done. I can't show y'all no more action. I'm not doing nothing for y'all. I'm not poking anything. I'm not knocking none of y'all out. I'm laying it down, and I'm getting away from y'all niggas. And it was respected. They didn't touch him. They let him go, but he had to go. They didn't
Yeah,
want to see him no more.
yeah, I can believe that. I seen stuff like that. Somebody that's about to get out, and they got a little bit of respect in the gang or whatever, and the the person in charge of the pod, they won't pick them for a mission. Usually, the people they'll pick is people new to the compound, people that ain't put in that work yet. That's usually who they'll pick. But if it's something that needs to get handled immediately, they'll go to somebody that's got like a lot of years in that's known. You know what I'm saying? When you walk around a compound, there's a couple of people you're like, yeah, you don't want to mess with him. You don't want to mess with him. You already know the outcome. They'll go get somebody like that. But most time it's newer people coming in the compound. They got to the number gets called and they gotta work.
They gotta perform.
Yep.
Yo, bro. I think really, man, I think it's a sad thing when if you're not built like that, if you're not built like that, but you still want that protection or that look that you are menace, and then they put you out there,
And
and
you,
then you keep getting beat to sleep.
yeah, that's not a good look. I mean, as long as you fight, that's all that matters. But I mean, if you keep on losing every fight, then it doesn't matter. You know, eventually they're like, man, you just getting beat up all around the prison.
Exactly. Like if you ain't gonna go sneak him or blitz him after he done beat you up, like after a while you a dub. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah,
they gonna start treating you. You know what I'm saying? Having you like a do boy doing stuff in there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
And I've seen it. I've
My best
seen it.
advice for people would be if you ever do get in trouble, because you know I hear people all the time saying, "Oh, I ain't never been to prison." Yo, anybody can get sent to prison at any moment. All it takes is one day your anger gets out of control and you do something that you didn't mean to do. Or I done seen it time and time again. It's easy to get locked up. It's so easy. But once you in there, it's better not to even join a gang. You know what I'm saying? It might be intimidating at first, but you just gotta be a man. If a gang comes up to you and they tell you they try to extort you, they be like, "We see that you go into the store every week. You're gonna have to pay us. We'll give you protection." Basically extorting you. You gotta stand. You gotta stand on your feet. You know what I'm saying?
All right,
When
so
something
let
like
me
that
ask you
happens,
this.
the
What
best
is the words that you
thing
would say to them?
in that
Yeah,
situation,
what would you say to them?
in that situation, the only thing you can do really, because anything you say, they're gonna try to amp it up. They're gonna try to bring fear, because that's their goal is to make you fear them, so you end up paying them.
Mhm.
So if you try to act tough, like, "Oh, I'm not paying you," then they'll go up a notch. They'll be like, "Well, we're gonna put this in you. This, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
We're gonna put
yeah,
it in you." They'll just keep taking it up. So the best thing you can do, and this might sound like a chump move, but this is the safest way that I can see. Because if you outnumbered, you wait till you out there in the pod, and the CO comes on the tier. Then you go to the one that's giving you trouble, and you just go straight in his mouth. Cause you going, I mean, they gonna take you out, right? Cause look,
yeah,
if you don't do it while the CO's on the pod, they just gonna beat the dog shit out of you. They gonna beat the dog shit out of you. You do it while the CO's on the pod, so he runs over there and breaks it up and take y'all to the hole. But you gonna get respect. I'm telling you, people on the pod gonna be like, "Oh yeah, yo, he wasn't going for that. He wasn't going for that." Now it might cause you problems, but like you stood up for yourself. Cause it's
yes,
either that or you know, if they really about that, they gonna start running in your cell and they're gonna
yeah.
put
That's a
hands on
fact.
you.
That's a
And
fact.
and then what are you gonna do? This is when most people they run to another organization. They run to them, and be like, "Yo, I got problems. I'm trying to join. They're giving me problems," and that's why most people do it.
Mm. Yo, that's man. That's I'm saying that's rough. That you
It
can
is
go.
rough. It's like a
You can
jungle in there, man. You already know.
exactly. People can go from working every day, being an upstanding citizen out here in society, functioning every day, getting up, taking your kids to school, or raising a toddler, you know what I'm saying, or have growner kids or whatever. And then, yes, it just takes one situation,
One
one
situation, you fighting with your girl, and you lose your temper, you throw something, or you do something. You know what I'm saying? People make mistakes. I'm telling you, it's so easy. You can be out with your friends, just out there riding. Your friends do something wrong, and what do they got that? If you're with somebody and they do something wrong, you get charged with it too. You ever heard of
yeah,
that? Something
yeah.
like that can happen. You know what
That's
I'm
the
saying?
felony murder rule.
Yeah. Sometimes it don't even be your fault. You know what I'm saying? But we only human. Everybody makes mistakes. Some of the
Yeah,
people in there, they did horrible things, and some people belong. I never thought I'd say I don't want anybody to be in prison and suffer, but some people deserve prison. You know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah,
some people that deserve it, but you got others that just made one mistake. You got some that didn't even do nothing because our justice system is not perfect. There's some innocent people in there, and I'm telling you,
yeah. I believe that. I
imagine,
believe that.
imagine you innocent and you in there fighting for your life. You know, how would that make you feel? You would think the world is against you. You know, and then they wonder why people put tattoos all over their face. They all alone. You know what I'm saying? You doing years for something you didn't even do. Imagine. That's
Mm.
crazy. And if you ain't got the money to buy a lawyer, you know, the prosecutor don't care if you prosecutor don't care. Their job is to lock you up. Even
Yeah,
if they got
that's a
evidence
fact.
showing that you're innocent. They ain't gonna be I mean, that's their job.
Mm. Yo, what is all right? If you can say if you met someone that had the wildest type of charges, you know what I'm saying, or the most vicious charges that you heard of while you was in prison,
Oh, okay,
what would you
yeah.
say?
Look, I'm gonna give you an example. I was in the county jail, and this case came on the news. It was two young white guys and a female. They went inside this old lady's house and beat her up. They killed her. Just they were stealing petty stuff. They ended up getting locked up. Those two guys, well, one of them came into my pod. He was on quarantine. When you're on quarantine because COVID-19, they had him in a cell. He had to stay in a cell for like I think it was like 2 weeks, and then he could get to come out during with the rest of us. But while he
Yeah,
was in there, everybody knew what he did. They see it on TV. They went in there and killed an old lady, senseless. So people were going up to his cell and they were like whispering in the cell door. They were like, "When you come out of here, we gonna do that to you." Like people didn't like his charges.
yeah,
People find out your charges, you getting ran off the pod because you got some people in there. You know they might be in there for drugs or something, and and and, and to them hearing about somebody that has some sick charges dealing with women, children, or anything like that. You know, they might have kids at their house. They in here on some drug charges. They like, man, what if that was my kid? What if that was my woman? I'm gonna go ahead. You know, they got me locked up already. I might as well do the world a favor and beat the living shit out of this dude.
yeah. That's crazy. That's really crazy work, man. Because like I have never said, yo, I think people belong in prison or certain people belong in prison. I mean, I've never said, but I have met individuals where I was spooked. You know what I'm saying? In the cell, I'm in a hole, and this one dude comes into my cell, and he was a little small little white guy, skinny white guy, and he used to go to the back of the cell and be looking in the cell towers, right?
Yeah,
And always waving to the cell towers, trying to get their attention. And I'll be looking at him, and I'm like, boom, I start reading. And then one day he was in the back there, and it was like late night, and all we got is this messed up light at the top, and it's like shining on him, and he's leaning sideways, looking out the window, waving. And I pulled my book down, and I'm looking at him, and I was like, "Yo, Bunky," I was like, "What's all those tattoo like?" Why do you got like from here? You just see a face, 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 like a lot of faces. Then from the top, they're like with their eyes closed and they just look like they sleep. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah.
then the more it goes down, they looking like this.
I know you about to say some creepy ass shit. I know you about to
Yo,
say some creepy ass shit.
I said, yo, why do you have those portraits like that, those faces? And he was like, oh man, you want to know about these, partner? I was like, yeah, yeah. And I got up and I was like, why you got that? He was like, oh, these are my favorite kills, man. And I was like,
And that's
hold on.
hold on, that's your cell buddy,
Yeah.
man. How'd you
Now
feel
I
when you
was,
heard that? How did you
yo,
feel when you heard that?
my stomach started burning, right?
You were like, you gotta get the hell out of here, yo.
Yo, my stomach started burning, but I said, yo, I got to keep my face where
Yeah.
I'm looking serious and I'm not playing with him. So I was like, what you mean by like favorite kills or whatever? And he was like, oh man. He was like, they're okay. They're okay. But when you get down here, man, when you get down here, boy, I loved it. He was like, you must not know about me. And he started laughing and then turned his back on me again, started waving out the window. I was like, I jumped down. I got by the door. I'm washing my face, washing my face. I'm listening to the officer going around with his thing going doo 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 doo
Where'd you
doo.
go? You go.
Once he came, yo, once he came, I can feel that it's somebody walking past. I was like, boom. He was like, yo, what's up, man? I was like, yo, get me the fuck out of here, yo. I was like, yo, what's and he looked, he was like, oh, they didn't tell you? They should have been told you, man. He was like, shit, you're in some shit. I was like, yo, get me the fuck out. Like, and I told homeboy, because I had one on me. I was like, yo, homeboy, look, I just want to get out of here. I don't like what you do. I ain't with the serial killer, nothing.
Yo, how can
It
you
was,
you can't sleep around somebody like that?
yo, it was no way. And he already talked in his sleep, but he
Oh my
talked like mad calm and all that. Yeah, nah, I'm doing good, man. I'm looking, and he's knocked out. You know what I'm saying? So I
Did he have
already
life?
knew
Did he
something
have a
was
long
off
time?
with him. Huh?
Was he serving a long time?
Yeah, he had a load of time.
He had life.
Oh,
I'm guessing
quite a
he.
few life sentences. Quite a few.
Yeah,
Quite a few.
I couldn't do that, man.
Yup,
That
yup.
sounds crazy. Hey, but you don't. That's one thing about prison. You don't get prison or jail. You don't get to pick your cell buddy. They put you in there with anybody, and you got to sleep
Exactly.
around that person. Imagine just getting locked up, and you get booked in and everything. They take you to your cell. It can be anybody in there. It can be somebody that just killed somebody. You going in there with them. They don't. I think some people on the outside they think they keep murderers separated from everybody else. No, they in there with everybody else. Imagine you in there for murder. You ain't got nothing to lose. You're probably thinking in your head, I'm already in here for life. I threw my life away. Anybody that messes with me, I'm just taking them out. Those are the most dangerous people to be around because they ain't got nothing to lose. See, somebody that has like maybe a year or 2 years left, they gonna think back in their head. They're gonna be like, well, if I do this, I'm not gonna be able to see my kids. Maybe I just need to chill out a little bit.
Yeah,
They'll have that thought. But somebody with life, they ain't got none of that.
exactly. They be on a whole different type of time, bro. Like, and the level 5 camps, I noticed since they have like 65% lifers around us, everything is like to the max. Everything. They don't say yo fight him. Nothing like they always saying yo go pour him out.
Yeah.
Go pour him out. Well, what happened? Oh, he was looking at it, he bumped you.
When
Well,
I
go
hear
pour
somebody
buddy
say
out.
go pour him out, that means in my head I'm thinking stab him really good to where he's getting poured out. Not
Exactly.
no not no hit him in the shoulder.
Yo, go pour him out. You know what I'm saying? Like really go and spank that baby. You know what I'm saying? Go and spank, bro. Flip him. You know what I'm saying? Put wings on him. Send him up through there. Like
That's crazy.
that's the only thing that they result to, and it makes you a savage. It makes you an animal because it's not for you to try to make sense of it no more. They said, yo, go flip him,
Yeah.
pour him all the way out, send
Yeah.
him up through there today. Lifeline should be landing on the big yard tonight.
That's what people don't get. The people that ain't never been to prison, that's what they don't get. Prison will change somebody. Imagine you in there for
That's a
something
fact.
petty. You in there for something petty, and you got to turn into a monster. When you're living around other monsters, you got to become a monster yourself. It's the
That's a
only way you're
natural
gonna
fact.
survive,
That is
because
a
you'll get
natural
eaten
fact.
up. I remember.
It's sad.
I want to tell you this little story. I remember I was at MCTC. I'd been there for a couple years, and out of nowheres, they called my name one morning. They for a transfer. They can do this at any time. They can move you from prison to prison just because it can be anything, but you'll never know the reason. They could be short staffed and they need to just transfer inmates. You know, they don't care if you got debts, if you owe somebody or if somebody owes you. They don't care nothing about that. They call your name, pack up, you gotta go. They call my name. They called my name one morning out of nowhere. It's unexpected. They didn't tell me the day before I was moved. They didn't say nothing. Just
Yeah,
inmate, pack up. You're transferring. So I packed my stuff up. They send me across the street to there's a prison across the street from where I was called RCI. I go over there. You know, I hit the compound. We're getting checked in again. We got to do when you go to a new compound, you got to get checked in. They got to do your paperwork. You got to go to medical, all that over again before you get settled. So I'm walking through the compound. There's a couple of us, and I notice it's empty. It's like a ghost town. Usually, you see inmates walking around. You know, they go to school or they going to chow. There was nothing. I'm like, something ain't right. They must be on lockdown. Turn out
yeah,
they was on lockdown. There had been so many stabbings up there that the jail was short staffed. They didn't have enough COs, so they were just keeping all the inmates locked up. The only time you got to come out of your cell is for a 15-minute shower. They will pop 2 cells at a time. They say you
mm,
got 15 minutes to take a shower and lock back in. All day you sitting in that cell. That's the only time you get to come out. When they want to feed you, they'll come around the trays, pop the little food slot. But you ain't coming out that cell. Now that messes with your mental.
yeah.
Imagine me
That's
stuck in your
crazy.
bathroom all day. You stuck in your bathroom all day. That's how big a cell is. It's
Exactly,
crazy. And you in there with,
exactly.
you know, imagine you in there with somebody you don't get along with.
Yeah, I really, I hate those feelings. Like if you start beefing or having a issue with your cellmate,
Now, have you ever had an issue with your cell buddy? I have.
yeah,
I want to know if you have.
yes,
I think everybody goes through that. You and
yes.
me. You want me to tell you my issue, or you want to say yours first?
You started off.
All right. Look, I moved into this old man cell. He was an old black man, but he wasn't scrawny or nothing. He was fit. He did push-ups, all that. He was built. He's one of them old timers, OGs. I call him OG. I'm in there, and at this time, I didn't know he liked that K2. You know, I don't like being around people that smoke that stuff because it turns you into somebody else. You never know. It just changes you, makes you unpredictable. Well, while I'm in there, after a couple of days, I need a hustle. I start selling Suboxone strips because that was the main drug in there. You have a strip of Suboxone and you cut it up, you sell it $25 a piece. That's how people make their money in there.
Yeah.
Something on the outside that costs $5 in there, it would cost $300 to $200. So while I'm in there doing that, because none of my family or nobody's looking out for me at this time, he gets it in his mind because I'm making money and he's my cell buddy that I should be breaking him off because he likes the party and he thinks just by being my cell buddy I should supply him. So we started
Mm,
bumping heads. It got to the point where we didn't even talk to each other. He would get up out of bed, he'd start working out, and he'd just say slick stuff out his mouth. He'd be like, "Yeah, I don't need nobody look out for me." Just being in a cell with that hostility, it's crazy. I already knew it was gonna come to a point where we were gonna fight, and that's usually how it goes. When you got problems with your cell buddy, you in a cell. The officer only comes around. He might only come around once every 3 hours to see if you're alive in there. During that
mhm.
time, anything could happen in there.
Yeah,
And
that's a
if,
fact.
and if your cell buddy just gets up and punches you in the face, it happens. It happens.
Yo,
But
that's
luckily, I wasn't in there that long. He ended up getting transferred to a camp.
okay.
But it
Okay.
got to the point where it was so petty. He had a TV. he would move his TV sideways where I couldn't even see the screen. You know what I'm saying? It would get that petty.
Yeah,
It get
yeah,
that petty. But yeah, I couldn't just like, move cells. You stuck wherever you are. You gotta deal with
yeah.
whatever you.
Yo, the like when I'm gonna just say a little light situation. Like me and my one of my cellies happened to fight, but it started getting to the point like we trying to see who get up the earliest and start brushing our teeth and start taking long to brush our teeth and wash our face before like we go out to chow and stuff like that, to have one person later than the other. um I remember going through that, and I had to go and offer wudu to offer salat, and I'm sitting up there and I'm waiting, and he heard them calling that Dan and everything. And I'm sitting there, and he got his headphones on, like, and keeps spitting in the toilet. He's spitting in the toilet. He jamming. He just doing like he's doing this for like at least like 10 to 12 minutes. And I'm standing there. I'm talking about. I'm getting 38 hot. I'm like, yo. I was like, yo, come on, man. And he acting like these little punk ass earbuds that he got in. He can't hear me, right? So I started going over towards him. I was like, yo. He was like, yo, what's up, folks? What's up? I was like, yeah, I see the animosity, but yo, I got it off for voodoo. I'll talk to you after that. I started doing my thing. One of my brothers opened the door, like, what's up, man? I was like, and I went back to doing my thing. I went out, and then I was telling my brothers, like, after we slammed out, I turned around to them, and I said, I might be going to the hole today. You know what I'm saying?
You
I
can
was
feel
like,
it.
I got to handle something with my celly. Y'all don't come towards the door unless you see some of his buddies coming. I was like, that's the only way. I was like, we need to handle this.
Yeah.
When I go back into the cell, he's at the back of the cell doing push-ups, right? He's in the back of the cell doing push-ups.
That's an
Now,
intimidation right there. He was trying
yeah,
to intimidate. Yeah.
yeah. He's doing this, and it seemed like he's been doing it since I went out. He just dropped because now he's sweating and everything. He got a little swole going on. He like,
He trying to
yeah,
hype himself
fuck
up.
niggas, I'll kill a fuck nigga I'll kill a fuck nigga if a drop on the ground. I was like, yo,
I seen
I'm
that. I
looking
know
at
exactly
him.
what you're talking about. I seen that before. Yeah.
I looked at the table and I noticed that he took my CL20s out of this
And
cracker
those,
box.
for people that don't know, that's headphones.
Yeah,
Those are headphones.
CL20s is headphones. I had it in a cracker box in each side to bring more bass into it. But it was his box. It was my headphones. And I saw that he done took my headphones out of it. He ripped up the box, right? And that was the thing that we
Oh,
had
that's
at night,
disrespectful.
listening to the radio station and all that. Once I saw that, I was like, damn, just that little sign said, yeah, me and him about to tear it up in here. You know what I'm saying? Me and him about to tear it up in here. Now, he got up, and just like I thought, he was like, it's enough. He want to walk past me with aggression. And boom, we in there tearing it up. Boom, boom, boom. And I ain't gonna lie, I can't believe that he still had enough energy to keep on going for like 2 to 3 minutes of fighting, because I was getting tired and he already did push-ups and we still going. I'm talking about, yo, the crazy part about this, man, we're fighting and then holding each other, we wrestling, falling, and doing all this stuff. And I remember getting the best of him. I got him by the toilet, and I wanted to like hit his head a couple times, like on that joint, to get his mind
Oh,
right.
that's
But I
dangerous
was
right
like
there.
this. I was over him, and my body was so tired. I'm like this, about to throw up because my body was overly tired, and I couldn't do nothing. The brothers came, boom, boom, hitting the door. I'm still holding this dude, man. I'm holding him, but I can feel like he's trying to twist my arm. He's trying to do that, but he don't got enough power. And I'm
Yeah.
tired too. And I'm laying there. He like, yo, bro, it's done, bro. Yo, it's done, bro. I couldn't even speak. If I would have spoke, I would have threw up or something. I'm still just holding him down. Once I sat there for a minute, got my strength. Well, I got off of him. I was like, go ahead, get your stuff. Go where you gonna go. You know what I'm saying? Go where you gonna go. Do what you gonna do. And he was like, "Yo, I'm not leaving."
Oh, round two.
I was like, "You not leaving?" He was like, "I'm not leaving." I was like, "So how we gonna go about this? Cause you ain't putting me nowhere." He
See,
was
this
like,
is this
"Yo,
is the time you go get your brothers and y'all run up
yo."
in there.
This man said, "Yo, I respect you for for fighting me because I know that I overstepped my boundaries when I walk past you and try to bump your leg. You're like, yo, you just hit me, Jers." And he just started laughing. And I'm with the bullshit. I started laughing too. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yeah, man, where we at, bro? I'm like, look where we at. And people are coming, they looking all in the cell. I'm like, yo, go ahead, go. I kept that cellmate for like 13 months until he left. You know what I'm saying?
Isn't that crazy? You can fight somebody and y'all become best friends. Ain't that crazy? And I've heard that happening more than once. I've seen it happen a couple of times.
Yeah, man.
People fighting
Like
themselves.
I found out that he had life. You know what I'm saying? I didn't even know how his time was or nothing like that. Just once he felt that I was cool enough to talk to or solid enough to talk to, I remember one day we in there working out with the cards, like 3 decks of cards. We using all them to work out.
So what are y'all like? Y'all picking a card at random and whatever card that is, that's how many push-ups y'all gotta do?
Yeah, yeah. And for like the first half of the deck, we add 10 to that number. You know what I'm saying? We add 10 to that number, we go down. Now, he stopped, man. And this man asked me, bro. He was like, yo, Jers or Ock. One of them, he called me Jersey or Ock. And he was like, yo, how much time I gotta do on life, bro? You know what I'm saying? And I think about this a lot too. I've been thinking about this through the years that he felt comfortable with me to show me just how vulnerable and lost he was in that prison, acting tough, fighting people, stabbing, and doing all this stuff with his homeboys. But he just asked me, how much time do you think I'm gonna do on life, bro?
Yeah, and that's something crazy. Cause usually lifers, they don't I really don't like to be in a cell with somebody that's got life because they're unstable. You never know what side you're gonna get. One minute they can be happy, and then they start thinking about the life in prison, and it's like a light switch. I When I first got to prison, I was in a cell with a kid. He was probably about 21. Couldn't be no older than that. He had life, and the whole time I was in the cell with him, he never really talked about his case, and that's a good thing. You don't want to talk about your case, but they don't really give out any information or nothing like that. But his moods, one minute he be happy, we making hookups, and then the next minute he don't want to talk. He ignoring everything you asking him or telling him. It's like he's just staring out in space. They're
Yeah,
really
that's
unstable.
that's a fact. That's a fact.
And it's crazy when you talking about you fighting that guy, and you said you got out, you got tired, right? That's why the gangs you have mandatory workout for that reason right there. They want you to be in tip top shape in case something does happen and they go to war. You don't go out of breath.
Yo, you talk about war, bro.
War
Yo,
fighting.
that's the stupidest thing that I see when two factions of gangs. Lynetta, what's going on? How you doing? when two factions of gangs come together, and it can be 17 against 24, it can be 30 against 20. But once they go and they say everybody else, like if it's the GFs, the Goodfellas going against the Bloods, right? They telling the Crips, the GDs, the Ghostface, and the Muslims, get off the big floor, get off the big floor. Everybody, y'all get off the big floor. And then they come and they stand there. And every time I saw it, it was the same damn outcome, bro. I'll be standing there and be looking, and I can look in the eyes of these different individuals. I can see who don't want this to go down. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I
it's
can
usually the
see,
people that got short time.
I can see the ones who's ready to pop right then and there. They locked all the way in, looking really, really, really crazy. You know what I'm saying? And then
Yeah.
once they go and they pop, they like they go through each other. Like boom, they go through. It's a boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Now, what's left is some people that's slipping, trying to move, some people like this, trying to get up out the situation. Now they doing all these different type of moves.
You know, you 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 know, you ever watch that movie Braveheart with Mel Gibson? Like
Brave
that's
parts.
when
Yeah,
they in
I've
like
heard
the
of it.
medieval fighting. It's kind of like that. It's really like that. You got two groups facing off against each other. It's like a stare off, and they just collide just like that, like medieval fights. You got people slipping on somebody's blood. It gets crazy. The CEOs
Yes.
come in there spraying, and I'm telling you,
Yes.
when the CEOs start spraying that bear mace, whatever that stuff is, it's all in the air. It hits the back of your throat, and it's like
Yeah. I hate it. And do
you
that
can't
tingling,
breathe. You can't
crazy,
breathe
like
at all.
locking your throat up. Yeah, I know.
I was in a
I know.
cell. I wasn't even near where when the CEO sprayed that, and I was in a cell. The cell door was shut, and I was looking out the cell, looking at the fight, and I just started feeling in the back of my throat. I was like, me and my cell buddy was sleeping. He woke up coughing. Man, we was both in the back of the cell. We had a little window in the back of our cell. We trying to get some air. We saying, "Oh, we gonna die in here."
Yo, that's crazy. That's crazy work. Hold on, hold on. I gotta turn on this light. Hold on,
Yeah,
hold
you
on,
good.
just a minute. Hold up.
Before it get too cold outside.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, and that's another thing. If you got asthma, they're not really supposed to like spray that. Like if a seal comes up and you fighting and you say, "Oh, hold up, I got asthma," they're not supposed to be able to spray that. I think it's a rule. If they know you got asthma, they can't spray you.
It was five.
Did you hear what I said?
What's that?
If a CO knows you have asthma, like if you fighting somebody and the CO runs up and he's about to spray y'all, I see a lot of inmates be like, "Oh, I got asthma. I got asthma." They don't really have asthma, but they'll tell the CO that because the CO's once he hears that, he's not allowed to spray because you can kill somebody if they got asthma, and that stuff is so strong, it could choke them.
Mm. I wonder if they just do it anyway after hearing it. They still go to.
You know, some people probably do. You know, COs, they're just people like us. To be a CO is not the same as a police officer. It's not the same thing. A police officer, I don't know what they have to go through, probably some training, the academy, all that. To be a CO, I think it's simple. All you really got to do is call down there and take a couple classes. Like right now, you could be working at McDonald's. Next week, you could be a CO.
Yeah,
That's how you
especially
got.
in Georgia.
Yeah, that's how you got some of these COs going in there. They're making, you know, they're probably not making a lot of money. So when they get when the inmates come to them and be like, "Yo, I'm gonna give you $2,000 if you bring in, a cigarette, a little pouch of cigarettes." Some will do it because they making fast money, and I mean, money talks. Money
Yeah,
talks.
of course, of course. They're knocking people off like every damn near every other month.
You want to hear something crazy? This is
What's
how
that?
this is how desperate some people were in prison. You know, you got people that come in there and they like to smoke cigarettes and stuff. But at the time, they banned cigarettes. You weren't allowed to have them. Every once in a while, you get people that come in, but it's not an everyday thing. I joined the Indian service, the religious. So
Yeah,
every Tuesday, I would go out there and I'll be able to smoke out of a peace pipe. They put tobacco in the peace pipe. It's supposed to be for religion, you know. I'm Christian, but you know what I'm saying. I just did it just to be able to smoke.
yeah,
But you got some CEOs that come in there chewing tobacco. They'll be spitting it in their little bottle. They'll throw it away. The working man, another inmate working, he come around, clean out the trash can, take that bottle. He'll dry the spit. He'll dry it out on a heater, and he'll sell it. You know how much that ball of spit will go for tobacco? He'd make up to $50 to $100 selling that. People rolled up, smoking.
yo, that's crazy.
Yeah,
That's
that was
yeah,
a
that's
hustle.
crazy work.
That was a hustle. You know how you get your toilet
Spit
paper,
on tobacco.
the little thin wrap that comes around it. You take that and you put the tobacco, the dried out tobacco. You wrap it up, you roll it up, and you smoke it. Now
Yeah.
they don't have lighters in there. What we used to do, we have a battery. You have a battery. You take a battery and you have a razor blade, and you put one end of the razor blade up here, one end of the razor blade up here.
On
You
both
connect it.
the positive and the negative, and then let
Yeah,
them touch, get
yeah,
the
and then that
friction.
you would light stuff. That's how we would do it. Either that, in jail, you don't have batteries, so you gotta use a socket. You know what I'm saying?
Oh man, see, I don't like nothing like that. After the first time I ever tried it, and they just said, "Yo, just line up the pencil lead this much, and just put the tissue in the middle and tie it, and just go like this and tap it,
Yeah,
and hold this other." Then I'm
yeah,
like this. It was like boom. I'm
man.
talking about. I
I
thought
know
it took my
it used to fuck.
eyesight and everything. I
Yo,
was
I
like,
used to be
oh
scared every time you take the pencil lead, you put it in the little socket, the outlet. I used to be scared out of my mind because once you connect that, pow! But you got to light it real quick. I used to think I'm gonna shock myself one day.
yeah.
Yeah,
After
but
I did that one thing, I ain't do that no more. I ain't mess
yeah,
around. I always got somebody to go do that.
that's one thing about prison inmates. They're never gonna stop, and they know this. The prison system, they know this. They're never gonna stop drugs from coming in the compound. They're never gonna stop none of that. They can slow it down, but they'll never, ever, ever stop it, no matter what they do. Because prisoners, they're people. You know what I'm saying? They got all day to be in there thinking about how they gonna get over and get the pack in. They got all day to think about this. They had my prison on the news a couple years back. They had somebody on the outside putting drugs and tobacco, pills, all kinds of stuff, oxycontin. He was putting it on what do you call those things? Drones. He was
Yeah.
bringing a drone in and dropping it off. Well, the prison they called on, and it was all over the news because prison staff were in on it and everything. But you know what they did? They installed a device that if drones get close to the prison, they stop working.
Mm.
And they also, down there in Georgia where you are, you still in Georgia?
Now I'm in Jersey.
Oh, okay, okay. But when you was in Georgia, they had a lot of cell phones in the prison, right?
Oh yeah.
Did y'all ever have a device in there? They installed a device where it jams like phone signals.
Um, one camp I went to, they had an issue in this one dorm that they said that it was something about the signal in that dorm, but it was one cell that worked perfectly, and people was fighting and fighting and fighting over this one cell.
Yeah, it
You know what I'm
usually
saying?
happens like that. I don't know why.
And when I got my phone in prison, when I got my phone back then, it was not popular to have a jack. At that time, they were sending out memorandums saying if you get caught with one, you're automatically doing 5 years mandatory
For a phone?
added to your time. Yeah,
For a phone?
phone.
What? 5 years for a phone? Yo, down here, if you get caught with a weapon, they get you street charges. You get 1 year. 1 year. You talking about 5 years for a phone? That's crazy.
5 years. But now they're not doing that now. It's like an inside charge now. You go into the whole
Okay.
if they just don't write it up and then let you go the long way, go to court and then they lock you up or put some restrictions on you or something like that. But at that time, they was trying to give out mandatory 5.
That's crazy.
Mandatory. Yep. Over that phone action. It's terrible work, man.
But now, see the wall phone, the prison wall phone. There used to be like 6 of them, right? Every wall phone, a gang runs that. You had the Crip phone, you had the Blood phone, Muslim phone. You might have a civilian phone if there's one left. So if you want to use a phone and you're part of the organization, you gotta, get in line. Now, if you're a civilian and you're not a part of an organization, you might not be able to get on the phone. You might have to be like, "Hey, I got $3 worth of commissary food. Can I get on the phone?" You might have to start paying to get on the phone. I
Mm,
don't know what it was, but the last time I was in prison, they started handing out tablets to everybody. Now every inmate has a tablet, and on the tablet, you can make your own phone calls. You can plug headphones up to it, listen to music. What do they got? I forgot the streaming service they got. Pluto TV. You can watch movies and stuff.
yeah.
But it's not like a cell phone. You can't go on internet or whatever. It's got its own apps on there. They got a couple games on there you can play. They got like 4 games on there. They're like they're like cell phone games, right? And
Yeah.
you play those for years, they start to get old. I'm trying to think. Oh, what's that one game? Candy Crush. They got that game on there. Man, you got
Wow.
people that beat that like a million times, and I don't even know how because you're not supposed to be able to beat that.
Yo, that's wicked right there, man.
And
That,
let me tell you something else though. But this is how they get you though. You got to pay a monthly fee for that tablet. You have the tablet, but the prison it's all about money. You got to pay $20 to have access to all that. If you don't, then you got the free version where you only make phone calls. You don't get the TV. You don't get the TV, the games, none of that. They always trying to make money, always. Now we had jobs too. Did y'all have jobs?
yes, but Georgia Department of Corrections, they don't give you nothing. You don't get paid for nothing.
See, that's the difference. We got paid, but this you want to know how much we got paid?
How much?
We get paid every month, and every month you get $20 on your commissary. That's how much a monthly. All you're working for 1 month in prison, you get $20 on your commissary. Most of the people that ain't got money coming in, they'll use that to get hygiene products, and they might
Yeah.
get a couple of noodles.
You can kind of almost function. You just be barely surviving, but you'll be making it. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And with the meals that they bring in too, like you just be making it. You know what I'm saying? But in the Georgia Department of Correction, since they opened up their gates, they've been laying the boo game down on people, saying if you don't work, they putting you in the hole. They're going to give you a hard time, and they have gave out nothing but some
For
watered
not
down
working. When you
juice.
say work, what kind of work you mean? You mean like them taking you to the like highway and picking up trash, or are you talking about in the prison like working?
High from the highway picking up trash to the shotgun detail that I was on. I was inside of water in a creek with the water. Like we put on these big high water boots, and they gave us bush axes, the swing and the line, and we're cutting weeds that's inside of water.
Hold on, you said bush axes. Is that like you talking about like a Grim Reaper stick? Ain't no way. Oh, that might look easy, but after swinging that thing about 10 times, man.
Yo, just the thought. of hearing every morning this guy say, "Bring it to me." Like he'll cock his shotgun, put it to the last person in the line's back, and say, "Bring it to me, bring it to me."
Hold
And we
on,
start
they
swinging.
pointing a shotgun at y'all,
Yeah, we was on the shotgun detail. Yeah,
but they actually point the shotgun at y'all.
yeah, at the last person in the back while we walking. Yeah,
Man, what if they accidentally like? What if something happens? They pointing a gun. See, I don't want like nobody to point a gun at me because anything can happen. What if you start seizing out or something and you pull the trigger? Like anything can
yo,
happen.
how they ran they show when I was there was diabolical to me.
It is.
Like I looked around like who's paying y'all for us to be here in this back plantation type of thing with all these folk on the porch in these rocking chairs with their own guns saying hey
Man,
saying hey to the COs like hey y'all going on around yonder and set them boys up right there. They you got some cool water in them jugs and they
the prison system
hey,
is a monopoly. It's all about money, man. That's all it is. They get
yeah.
paid. I don't know if people know this. Per inmate, they get paid a certain amount of money per inmate every year. And I'm not talking about no little money. I think it was like $1,000 per inmate. That's what I heard. You ever heard something like that?
um I know in the county jails they get money or funding for housing us some way. I don't know where the money is getting generated from, but I know the tax dollars that come from working citizens, they getting some of that.
Yeah,
But in the prisons, I noticed every year, like 3 times a year, we'll have a regional inspection. And then it'd be people that walk in that's regular civilians looking at us, and it seemed like they couldn't say nothing to us. But they was auditing their property, which was us.
yeah, that's crazy. When you're locked up, you're a prisoner. You're not a person no more. You don't have rights. A lot of people don't understand that. Your rights, you don't have them anymore. Your property of the state, like your actual property. You go in somebody's house, you see their chair or whatever, your property like that. You're somebody's property, yo.
Yes, exactly. I think it's something in there where they're changing your identity because once you get a GDC number or EF number or whatever type of number that they use to count you in prison, once you take that picture, your now name is in capital letters all the way through now.
Yeah,
It's in
that
capitals
that's why
all
it's
the
such
way
a big
through.
deal if somebody escapes because that's their property that escaped. If something happens, they're liable for that.
Hmm.
That's why it's a big deal.
Yo, that's man, that's sad.
Yo,
That's sad.
this is off topic, right? But you know
Mhm.
how we went over there and got Venezuela's president, the guy. What do you think he's going through right now? You think they got him in a special housing unit?
Yeah, of course,
No,
of
but he
course.
don't. I guarantee you, he don't have contact with any other inmate. Any other inmate.
He
They,
probably can hear him. He probably can hear him.
I don't even think that they have to have some special type of containment for him because they don't want anything happening to him.
Yeah, how about that? They will see. I think that they designed some of these jails like that have these back hallways that still got cells in there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can just bring a mat in there, bring a pillow, get you nice and good with the covers, and then start bringing you meals. You know what I'm saying? Checking on you every now and then.
Now,
And
now, oh, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
oh my bad. A person like that, they're gonna frequently check up on him.
Yeah.
Frequently talking to him, asking him questions. Some people gonna say you need something. Would it make your time easier in here? You know what I'm saying? Like it
I doubt
goes
he has
down
any
for
money
certain
on his
people.
commissary. All that money he had back in his country, that didn't transfer over. I don't think
No,
that
but
transferred over.
I think somebody is
Now,
helping
yeah,
him
you're gonna
that's
have
not tied in.
people over there that are gonna send him money, probably. You know, but wasn't
That's
he
a
like a
magic thing.
dictator? He was
Yeah,
basically like a dictator or something, wasn't
I thought that that was their actual lead man. You know what I'm saying? That was their president, and he was just dipping and dabbing with D Rugs. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature, and that's why they put that type of thing on them where they can go over to different countries to go pull somebody like
he? Yeah. Now, do you think he'll ever get free?
a pardon of some type. I think
Hell
it's
no. They ain't
possible.
never gonna leave. Nah, I don't think so. I think if anything, one day send him to like Guantanamo or something.
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, something like that. That's what I would think. What are you gonna let him out? You can't. I don't see that happening.
Yo, to be for real, I don't know. They can bury the thought of him too.
What you mean by
Just
that?
um like after they make a situation like that, they take a big step like that and they put it out there for us to see it. And now we're watching it on the news. Everybody's talking about it. They're in the uproar and stuff like that. And then they'll do something even more wild or put more publicity on something that's lighter than that and just start hiding the even the thought of that person. They got this
Yeah.
going on. Then they'll say, we got this. Now we got to watch out for this. Oh, this is coming our way. Oh, we're giving y'all money. You better start signing up for this now. And this, and like, they'll lose you. You'll forget about Buddy in there. You'll forget
Yeah,
all
I mean,
about it.
pretty much everybody's done forgot about him because of this war that's going on right now. Everybody forgot about everything.
Yeah.
Now,
How I
a
know,
lot. What are we saying?
I was about to say how I know that this takes place, high situations, is because the towers, you know what I'm saying, the people that died in the towers in New York when the planes hit the
The Twin
towers.
Towers.
Yes, it was individuals before them that came to try to blow it up. They just came and put bombs in there to try to blow it up and bring them down. That was the first time that they got attacked at the towers. And then they made a movie about it. They made a movie after they got them, hid them away, and they probably still living to this day. Hid them
Yeah.
away,
I,
and
I
then they
was
made a
I
movie
was a
about it.
teenager when that happened. I remember I was a teenager when all that happened. It was
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah. The second time that happened, I was like, Dad, hold up. Didn't this happen before? They was like, nah, people tried to blow it up. They done put them away. Now these dudes they came and knocked them down.
Yeah, but
And
that united the whole country, though. It did.
yeah, yeah. Everybody was on one. Everybody
Yeah,
was on one.
yeah. Everybody was signing up for the army.
Yeah, everybody was definitely on
You
one.
see, that's a.
And
Can you hear that? That's the train in the
nah,
background. Well,
I can't.
I remember when I was younger, before I started going to prison, I wanted to join in the military. That was my main thing I wanted to do. But once I started getting in trouble, you know, I didn't finish school and I had a GED. They wanted me to go back and get college credits, but I wanted to run the streets. So I
Mm,
messed up my own dream. I wanted to join the military and I wanted to like explore the world. You know what I'm saying? That was my dream. And going to prison, messing around these gangs, it ruined it for me.
that's crazy work.
It is. That's why I try to tell, these kids, I see them watching the rap videos and everybody wants to be gang. You got kids out here thinking it's cool to like run the streets and like put their hands on people, and seeing stuff like that, it disgusts me because like how did we get here? You know what I'm saying? Because
That's a
not
fact.
even the rappers that promote this stuff, they ain't doing all that stuff. They just rapping. They're not really out there doing that. And when you
They living
got,
their best life.
yeah, they
They're
live in their
eating
best. If they,
caviar.
you got to think of it this way. You got to think about it this way. If they was out there doing all that, don't you think they'd be in prison? Like some of them go to prison, but all the stuff they rapping about, I mean, some of it might be true, but like most of the stuff is cat. And you know,
Yo, when they speak the truth and it's documented, oh, they get them up out of here. They get
yeah,
them. They get them. Soon as they say, yeah, oh, I'm doing the race. I'm doing the race. Boom, TK, get you out of
yeah,
here.
TK,
You know what I'm saying?
TK.
Yeah, take K. And then Bobby Schmurder and in New York, they talking about, yeah, got a body about a week ago. They look into that. Boom. Get these dudes. Get them. Get them. Get them.
Yeah,
You know
they
what I'm
was actually
saying?
rapping about real stuff. They would, but they was telling on themselves.
Yeah,
You know what
yeah.
I'm
Cause he was pointing to him like, yeah, and he'll shoot you. He's a such and such.
saying?
And what blah, blah.
That was
Yo,
crazy, right?
when I saw that, I knew the game has now changed. It's a different type of timing. If we doing this over a beat, and I can say, yo, my man, this he'll stab you up. He just did it to that girl yesterday, nigga. What the fuck? You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? This dude right here, he'll do this. Like it's it's
So
it's over with.
I say that to say this: me doing my time in prison, this is what like drives me to want to do content and talk about these prison stories and my
Yeah,
experiences. Cause like I want to have a voice like these rappers, but I want to teach people the right way because I've seen so many people go to prison and they ain't ready. They ain't ready for it because prison is a whole different world. It's a different animal, and people want that life until they actually start living it. Prison. When we talking about this stuff, it's entertaining, but actually living in it is a nightmare. So I
that's a
want my
fact.
voice to be heard, so I can try to warn people, or if I tell somebody some knowledge and they actually get to prison, I hope nobody goes to prison. But if they actually have to go there, maybe they can look back on our podcast or our live streams and then be
Yeah,
like, they'll know what to do. You know what I'm saying? They
yeah,
won't be
exactly.
they won't be
I
food.
think I think we might have to work on giving them a footnote from the time that they get locked up. What you need to be looking for, what you need to do, but try to keep them out first. Tell them what to worry about out here first, and
Yeah,
get that intact so they don't have to go. But if you have to go, we'll have another whole podcast and breakdown of what you need to do to survive in there. No, I don't care if you think that you're going out bad, you're gonna survive. You're gonna live to tell it.
yeah,
You know what I'm
exactly.
saying? And I'm with that more than nah, don't go out bad. Go and pour him out, take his life and get more time. Nah, I'm not with that.
Yeah,
I'm not with that. And whoever's putting that out there or glorifying that or saying, hey, yo, that's the way to go, or I'm gonna take flight on them. I'm gonna do this. I would tell the kids that's the worst example that you can get right there. That's the worst example.
listening to other people. Because when the consequences happen, them other people that told you to do all that, they ain't gonna be with you. They ain't gonna be with you. They ain't gonna be sending you no money when you in prison. They ain't gonna be doing none of that. They gonna be trying to get with your girl, get with your baby mama, get with your wife. That's how it usually
That's
goes. You think
yo,
you have friends until you get locked
woo,
up. You know what I'm
yo, I've
saying?
I've been in those rooms, bro, plenty times where we watch somebody go out bad after us giving them all this advice, gaslighting that boy, and then once he's
Yeah,
gone, everybody starts laughing and be
yeah.
like, "Yo, he was stupid as hell. Yo, you saw what
I
he
seen it
did."
too.
Like,
Trying to talk to their girls and stuff, right? That's what they do. So I'm saying you got to look after yourself because at the end of the day, nobody's gonna look after you like yourself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact.
But when I
That's a
was in
fact.
prison, I ran with the Crips. I was doing bodyguard work for my OG in there. I got the stuff tattooed on my face. You know what I'm saying? All over my body. Like I devoted myself to it. Now that I look back on it, I'm a little older now. Now that I look back on it, you know, I believe that I wasted a lot of my life just on some nonsense. You know what I'm saying? I don't regret the things. Some of the things I don't regret what I what I did while I was in there. You know, crashing out and stuff. Because at the end of the day, you got to stand up for yourself. But if I wouldn't have act stupid and I thought about, I wouldn't have put myself in that predicament. You know, you
Yeah,
got some kids out here. They think it's cool to get locked up. You know what I'm saying? They got bragging rights to tell their friends now, but they just don't know what's waiting for them. Like I'm telling you, you think everybody's your friend, but once you get in there, you turn to food. The gangs,
exactly.
they stick together. If an outsider comes in, you thinking that you're gonna join a gang or something. You don't get to pick a gang. It don't go that way. The gang picks you. If the gang wants you, they gonna let you in. You'll know it. You don't go in there and be like, oh, I'm gonna be a blood. I'm gonna be a blood today. You might not be built like that. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Real recognize real.
Exactly. And
You go in there
people will
claiming something.
approach you if they see that you have muscle or you have smarts or you get to that dollar, they will approach you.
They'll use you up. Yeah, I mean, and if you're trying to join, yeah, they'll approach you,
Yeah,
but you
but
don't.
definitely they're gonna use you up.
Yeah, they'll use you up. At the end of the day, that's all. That's all it is. You get used up.
That's
All them
that's
people
an
sitting in
actual fact.
prison for all them bodies and stuff because of a gang. You know, they might have sent them money a couple of times, but at the end of the day, that's their life now. It's
Yeah.
sad, man. It's really sad.
Individually as they come in and then collectively as they're counted, they're only counted as statistics.
Yeah,
When they start getting counted as a whole, they're like, yeah, it's 1,200 of these inmates in here that blah blah did this out on the streets because of this organization or this, that, and the third. But individually, there's somebody's brother, somebody's father, uncle, you know what I'm saying, cousins, and things of that nature. And that's a key point on why I try to like tell people like, yo, don't go in here. Actually find something safe to do out here. And
yeah,
sometimes I know people probably think I'm being funny when I say find something safe to do, but you have to find something safe
yeah.
to
You know, you right because I'm telling you, like people in there, they're totally different. I'm talking about animals. Like, say you owe somebody money. Usually on the outside, you know, you can pay them later on. In there, deadlines, it don't get excuses don't work, man. If they will get people on the outside to press your family. Your family ain't got nothing to do for what you doing in prison, but they'll get people to go press them, call them, harass them, threaten to shoot up their house. That's what they do, and they don't care. I'm telling you because I've seen this. I've seen this.
that's sad. That's actually
Prison brings out
sad.
the worst in people,
That is actually
and there
doggone
ain't no
sad.
mercy in there. I've seen people in organizations do something wrong, and their own brothers chop them up, get rid of them. The people, the people that they depended on, would be the ones to do them in.
Yeah. Once you get to that point and you see exactly what life is hitting on, once you see that the people that you're around is going to be the ones that actually going to do you
Yeah,
in, like that's a hard pill to swallow when it's
because it
time
doesn't
to,
matter. Look, it doesn't matter. You can be homeboy. Say you crip, right? You me and you, just for example, you crip. Me and you, we've been kicking it every day while we in prison. We go out there, we work out every day. One day, Somebody pulls me to the side, higher ranking, and he tells me, "Yo, an order came down. You got to go hit up Miz, yo. We found out at another prison he was at, he did something he wasn't supposed to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna come and tell you that. Next time I see you,
Yeah. Yeah,
that's
that'll
it.
be the reason. Yeah.
And that's how it goes in there. That you gotta put feelings to the side. And that's why I tell people it's a nightmare living in there because it's a totally different world. It's not like the
Yeah.
outside.
That's a natural fact. That is a natural fact. What time are we looking at? What time is it right now?
I'm not sure. We've been in this lot minutes. It's
I
it's 7:55 where I'm at. You
I
wanna
I have to get onto TikTok as well to put time in on TikTok. Check my people out. Check my mods
No, you
out.
good. We'll continue this tomorrow. Tomorrow you want to live stream? We're gonna live stream on mine or
Yep.
what? While we here right now, before we leave, what do you want to talk about? What topic in prison tomorrow you want to talk about, or you want to think
Um,
about it?
I want to actually come up with something real good. I want to ponder over it because I want to collectively put out information. You know what I'm saying? That we could
Yeah,
just go all the way in on collectively doing
yeah.
this.
Today we talked about gang life, being in a gang, the consequences. Tomorrow it's going to be another discussion. That's how we're going to do these live streams. For if y'all just tuning in, that's how we're going to do our live streams. We're kind of going for a podcast type of vibe. Every day we're going to switch off. We're going to be a my live stream. Then we'll go to big Ms. live stream. Every day
Yep.
we're going to switch off, and every day we're going to have a different topic. But it's always
That's
going to
that's
revolve around prison, crime, because we got a message. And we
that's
trying,
right. That's right. That's right. So please, y'all follow us on this journey. And at any given time that you feel that you're in a very serious or dangerous situation and you need to contact somebody that can help or give an ear or
you can
speak for
contact either
you,
one of us. Either one of us.
yes, please reach out. Do not
Leave a
hesitate.
comment. You can leave a comment in one of our videos, our stories, because on our main channels, I tell stories about my prison experiences on my main channel. This channel, no, this is your channel right here. And
Yeah,
on Miz's channel, he tells about his stories.
that's correct.
We want to
Definitely
bring
correct.
prison to the outside. We're bringing prison to you guys because usually people don't know how it goes until they actually get in there. We're
Yeah,
bringing it to you guys.
yeah,
So if
that's
you
a
got any
natural fact.
questions that you want to ask us in our next live stream, you're more than welcome to. Or if you want to leave a comment, feel free to go do so.
That's right. And we appreciate y'all so much. Please, y'all go over to Crime Talk
369.
369. Crime Talk 369. Go and subscribe to the channel. Please support this brother. We're going to be working, y'all. And we need y'all support all the way through. You
And
know what
when
I'm
I tell
saying?
my prison stories are 100% real. They're from my time being locked up. And what I like to do in my stories, I narrate the situation, but I have AI in the background so the viewer can be inside the story. That's a way that I separate myself from some of the other the, the other content creators. I'm trying to go for a new format. Some people like it, some people don't. But
Yo,
it gives
I
y'all a
think it's
chance to
unique.
look.
I
Yeah.
think it's unique.
Yeah. But
It'll
it gives a
work.
chance for the instead of just hearing it, the viewer can see what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Because I believe that goes a lot farther. Because I can be in prison. I can be talking to somebody that never been in prison, and they gonna know a little bit of what I'm saying, but they're not fully gonna know unless they're looking at it. So I like to recreate the moments with AI.
Yo, I'm gonna have to have a battle with you too on not on TikTok or nothing like that. I'm gonna have to have a battle with you too and go in on that Sora app and see who can make the craziest short.
Oh
Who can make the
yeah,
craziest short and
hey,
go
we
up.
got some crazy shorts right now. Yo, I ain't gonna lie. Last night one of my shorts went viral.
Word up.
Word up. One of my shirts went viral, and you know which one I'm talking about. It had to do with a feminine male, man. Every time it hit 100,000 last night.
That's crazy. That's crazy work. That's crazy work. But keep putting them out. Keep putting them out. Raise your platform. Raise it and raise it and raise it.
Yeah.
And we just gonna
Right
keep
now,
keep doing our
where I'm
thing.
at, I just got out of prison a couple months ago. My YouTube channel is pretty much new. I only got 13,000 subscribers. I'm pretty much trying to find my audience. My audience hasn't found me yet. So I'm trying to put my videos out there so people can, know what I'm about. And hopefully I find my audience. Hopefully,
Yeah, Tron D. Listen, any time that I'm on TikTok, I would try, if I can find you, I'll send you a link to come
See,
in.
I never, the only time I get on TikTok is to make, like, my shorts that I make on YouTube. I'll add them to TikTok. That's the only time I really get on there. I don't do anything else on there.
See, you need to grow these platforms. We gonna get it together. We're gonna get it together.
Can
I
you
got you.
collab on TikTok like this right here?
Yes,
Maybe we need to start doing that too.
yes, and people will start following and following and following and following.
Yeah.
And also,
But
it gives people time to sit back on different platforms and check us out. We're not just a one-trick pony. We're not just one place. We're using all these platforms as a podium to put this information out there. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? And
but my YouTube channel is gonna be my main baby though.
I can
Like
dig it.
I love YouTube.
I can
That's
dig
my
it.
main thing.
I can definitely dig it, man. I can
But yeah,
definitely dig it.
I'm a brainstorm some ideas, and I'll text you or something, and what we want to talk about tomorrow.
All right, no problem. No problem. So we about to sign up off of here.
Yep.
Yo, we just want to say thank y'all for tuning in with us, and we will get back with y'all tomorrow.
And if you can, go ahead and like that video. Double tap the screen, like the video. It don't take nothing but a second.
Yes, thank you. And for people just come in, go will it back and watch it from the beginning. We gone, y'all. Peace, Strom.
Peace, y'all.